Hello friends, welcome back. We have been looking at ways to build user interfaces to a backend database like MySQL. So in our previous videos, we have seen how to do that in many different ways. And in the video that we saw last, I showed you how to display one record at a time on the web interface. So if you look at the application that we saw last time, when I clicked on get info, I was getting each of the product info one at a time and the counter was incrementing. So what I intend to do in this video session is to show you how you could implement the interface to display all of the products at once or top three of them the way it is done here. If I click on show top three, it would show the top three products from the product list. More functionality we would like to implement in this video. And if you specify the category of the products like consumer electronics, books, etc., then only that category product should be shown in the output. So for instance, if I say consumer electronics and say show specific, it will show only the products which belong to consumer electronics category. And if I say book, it would only display the books which are there in the show also. And if I don't mention anything here, it should point out that type category needs to be entered. So it should alert me. And if I say mob, it is for mobile category, it will show two products here. So how can I build all of this in one single interface? So let us dive into the details and see for ourselves how all of this can be done. So let me quickly go to the code. So let me load the project. I have opened up that project which we did last time with minimal functionalities. First thing that I would do is to start the backend using nodemon index.js. It starts at port 8000 and it is connected to MySQL. If I click on the front end here and if I go live, it will show me the basic functionality that we implemented last time. To this interface, I'm going to add a couple of other functionalities like get the information about top 3, top 4, and given the category, I should be able to list items belonging only to that category. So let's see how to do that. So let us first go to our HTML page and we need to add an unordered list here. One more button here. I simply copy paste the button that we already have here. So we can a red color button, instead of get info we can say get top 3, and to get a nice looking UI I need to go to Bootstrap and go to docs here, and here you can say unordered list. So what we want is we want to see a basic list. So we want this kind of a, and since unordered list is also copied, I'm just going to remove this. So and I'm going to give the ID to this as my list. So give appropriate IDs so that you are able to identify them easily. And you can remove this disabled kind of a thing which you don't want. Just keep the basic class here and you can say first item here. So I'm going to dynamically add these things, but just to show you what happens when you actually make these changes. So if you go to your interface here, you see that there is a get top 3 button and also one list item is added. Now the list items have to be slightly separated from each other. So what I'm going to do is I can have a margin of 2 for both so that they're slightly spaced in the output. So you can see nicely the two list items are separated from each other. Now, but I want this to happen on click of the button and the data from the database should be displayed. Okay. So let us remove this list item here because this will be added dynamically in our code in the display info. So since I'm going to get all the records from the database, I am going to write another click event for another button, so which I can control C here and control V here. And this time I'm going to say show top 3. So we need to go back and see. You have to rename the button ID as shop top 3 or show top 3. So I've done that. So on click of that button, this time I am going to invoke an API which is rooted at API/get data, and again it's a get method. But this time I'm not going to display the data in the text boxes, but I'm going to list them in the list item. So if you can see this list item here, so I need to display all of them one by one. So let I equal to 0, I less than if you want to display top 3, so then 0 1 2, I plus plus here, and you have to use the my list unordered list, and to that you are going to append the list items. So dot append list item. So as you can see, I am appending a list item here, but this will be enclosed in double quotes, and anything which is double quotes inside, it should be replaced with a single quote here. And instead of this item here, I am going to say double quotes plus double quotes, and there will be one double quotes here. So I'm going to concatenate the results I PID here. Then I'm going to leave some space. There will be also a space here, again one more plus. So this space is going to be separating the results of I of prod name. Then again put a space there, and then results of I dot price, and then there will be a plus. So I have dynamically created a list item, and we don't want this counter to increment, or we don't want this I plus plus, because this loop is going to do that. So we have created the front end which will invoke a REST API located at API get data. So that I'm going to alter in my index.js. So in index.js, if you remember, in the backend we just have get data. So you can control C this and control V here, and just one small change, because now I want the data to be displayed in a tabular form. So I'm going to have a separate API for this. So this is not going to do much, exactly same thing what the earlier API was doing. Okay, now this is done. Now if I check my UI, and if I say get info, my product things will come, and if I say get top 3, you will see that the top 3 entries will come. So we have achieved the first part of our job. Now the next thing is we need to read a category, and from the category we have to get only items belonging to that category. So what I have to do is I have to go back to HTML here. These two buttons they are side by side because they are in a div, an input here. So what you can do is you can simply copy this input group. Let's call it as broadcat, and this we had not set width for this, so it was too large. So we can say width of 50 size, and when that happens, your style sheet should also be slightly altered to provide a slightly larger width. Make it 600 here, and this could be slightly. Now if you see, there is a category here, and the height has to be appropriately adjusted. So you can go back to this here, and you can say height of 50 size, so that you get this, and there should be a slight margin also. You can say margin, let us see if it gets adjusted. Yeah, now it is in line with all that. If I say get info, it will get to the products. If top 3 is here, I'm going to copy this here, and I'm going to place it beside the price, so hopefully it will get placed there. And here say, so this got altered, so some such things happen because this is this color we can change to. So all that I'm going to do is show cat, and I'm going to pass one data item here, so it should be slash plus dollar hash prod cat dot val. Yeah, so I'm going to pass this as a argument of the URL. So and this is going to be a results dot length instead of top 3. So I'm going to list everything that comes through the API. So I should have a REST endpoint API get data with argument there. So I'll go back to this. So guest API slash get data slash cat. So I already have a API written here. So what it does is it will get that category dollar hash my list dot empty. So I'm going to use I have to empty the list and then display. So let us see whether it is happening or not. I am going to pass an argument here. So what you can do is first, before doing this, let us put this in a variable let cat equal to REST endpoint. So REST endpoint is API get data colon cat. So that cat variable is received, and you are going to use that in your program. So let's see if it is doing that. This is fine, this is fine, and now product category, if I say consumer if I say book, so it displays only the book, right? And if I say mobile get category, is going to display only the mobile phones, and if I say consumer electronics, it is going to display the consumer electronics items. So as you can see, as expected, our programming is working, except that we have these items displays too close. You can do a little bit of formatting there. BIs for bootstrap icon, and then you can have BI currency rupee. Before the amount, I'm going to display this currency symbol, see whether it is happening. So now if I go and see the category wise items like mobile, you will see it is coming up with the currency rupee previous list. So here I am going to include the currency also. So you'll see that when I say get top 3, you'll get amount with the rupee icon. However, I'm not doing that here, and if I want upon a particular category like book and say get category, it starts displaying everything nicely. If you ever wanted some space after this rupee, you could have placed that in the get info. Yeah, now there's a lot of space. Similarly, if I say category book, it is producing that output. Of course, the spacing is not equal because it is relative spacing, and since the product description is longer here, the item price is getting displaced little more. So today what we have seen is how to make all the records displayed or portion of the top end record displayed, and also how to display the items by their category. So hope this video is interesting to you. If you have liked the video, click on the like symbol and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.